How's it going, YouTube? And welcome back to My Comic Life. It feels so good to finally be back. I'm hopefully going to come back onto a regular schedule now, since I have finally gotten my workflow, or my work. I'm finally working again, and it feels like everything's on the up and up. So I decided to go to my comic book shop, pick up 2 weeks worth of comics, and it feels so good to have new comics in my hand. So, first one I picked up from DC. All these will be by publisher. So right now we're on the DC side with House of Whispers issue number 8. I know that in the last couple issues, Dan Waters of he's the guy who is writing Lucifer, has come onto this book to help out Nalo Hopkinson, who is the writer for this book, and she never has written any comics before in her life, but she has definitely written some books. So she definitely needed some help in the whole art of comics and the whole pacing, because to be frank, the first 5 issues were slow and it felt like nothing was really happening. But since Dan Waters has come on, it seems like the series is finally getting its groove. Green Lantern issue number 5. I'm going back trying to find all the back issues of this. I only got one more issue to go and then I'll be all caught up. The one thing I am disappointed with is that I didn't want this cover, but because my comic book shop didn't have any others, I'm like, okay. Usually with DC, their variants are usually a lot better than what this is. I don't know, something about the face that just doesn't feel right. But I am glad though to have this book into my collection, because Grant Morrison's been doing a fantastic job on Green Lantern. The Dreaming issue number 8. It looks like Sandman's finally coming back, hopefully. And I am a couple issues behind, so I definitely need to go catch up. But I do know that in the last 2 issues, we've been having a new artist on, and I've looked into it, and the art is not as good, not even nearly as good, because the art in the Dreaming has been the best art in comics, I believe. And so this new person comes on for a couple issues to give the original artist some time to, get some more work done. And it's not as good, but it definitely is higher quality. And this series has been great. Killmonger issue number 5, final issue of this mini series, and I am so glad to finish this book out. It's been easily my favorite mini series that I've been reading up to this point. The series dives deep into Killmonger's early days before he was known as Killmonger, and before him and the Black Panther butted heads. And it is absolutely breathtaking. The art in here and the coloring is just brilliant. The storytelling is perfect. Easily my favorite book series going on today. And if or when this miniseries gets turned into a trade paperback, or not a trade paperback, but a hardcover, and hopefully oversized hardcover, I will be double dipping for sure. And I definitely want to go back and try to find all the different covers, because if I love a series, I'll go back and find the covers. And with Marvel, they do the covers, they overdo with the alternate covers. So I'm thinking about going and trying to hunt down other variants, but who knows with Marvel. Another Marvel mini series that I've been really enjoying, Winter Soldier. This series is about the Winter Soldier. He has teamed up with Captain America's girlfriend, and they are going and finding new identities and new housing for people that work with these different criminal organizations and who want out in the Marvel Universe. And one of their people that they help was made, and this assassin, this kid who dresses up just like Bucky Barnes, went to assassinate this guy. And the real Bucky comes in, and it's all been about him and this child assassin kind of getting together, and hopefully Winter Soldier being a good influence on this kid who doesn't want to be an assassin anymore. Now on to the Image with Outer Darkness issue number 6. This has been a great series. John Layman, he's the guy who wrote Chew, and this is a series that he's done after that, and has been doing a great job. And the series is in the vein of Star Trek, where it takes a lot of the cues from that show, and each issue feels like its own individual episode. So at any time, it feels like a great time to jump on in, where you have this crew who are going to the outer darkness of space, and they're going to uncharted territories, and it's really well done. Now on to another great Image title, Gunning for Hits, the music thriller, issue number 4. This series, and this cover's gorgeous. I love all the blacks, but you know, if you're a comic book reader, those blacks are sometimes hard to keep perfect. But this group, or this guy, wants to sign this music band, who he knows is going to be great. He signs them, and then this David Bowie character comes on into the picture, and it's kind of trying to take these guys away from him. And it's really well done. Each and every page has so much meat on the bone that it's just perfect. If you're a person that loves the art form of comics, Gunning for Hits is for you. There are times where the art will change, that it's really like, with each and every page, you never know really what you're going to get. And there's such good characters that come into the play that are so shady, but at times they will redeem themselves, and you're like, okay, I can see why you're in this guy's life, and it's really good. Vindication, issue number 3. I need to go back and read issue number 1 and 2. Well, I haven't read issue number 2 yet. Don't really remember what issue number 1 was about, so need to go back and read this, and then see if I want to keep the series on my pull list. Self-Made, issue number 5. Yeah, issue number 5. Wow, look at that cover. That cover is absolutely gorgeous. We have this lady who programs game AI, and she has created the first artificial intelligence. And she has gone off, taken this AI from her company, and she has created a body for the AI. And now the AI is living in our world and is experiencing stuff for the very first time. And it's just a great series. Now on to, like, Image. It feels like just Image can do no wrong. Die, issue number 5. I've heard, or I've seen on eBay, how much issue number 1's going for. I think it's almost like $30 now. And I am so glad I got into it. Now the art is beautifully done, and the world has just been so fleshed out in these last issues that, like, look at this art. The art is absolutely gorgeous. And the world of Die has been really fleshed out. Think of Jumanji, where these kids, they're playing this board game. They get sucked into this world, and then years later they come back, except one of them is still stuck in this world. Well, they went off and lived their lives, and now that they're in their, like, almost 40s, they get a message from the person that was left behind, and now they've gone back into the game to go and find him, and it's been a wild ride. Now on to Dark Horse. Astro Hustle, issue number 2. This series is wild. It's crazy. It's exploitation. If you love exploitation type of films, you'll love this book. Like, this book at one moment seems like a book that's all about a sci-fi, sexy orgy type of book. And all of a sudden, our main character is put in jail, and then the pirates coming to save him. It's just wacky. And the thing I love about Dark Horse is that you never really, which each and every series, so you got, like, The Witcher, which is its own IP, and they put those books out, and they're pretty good. And then you got, like, the crazy stuff that they put out with, like, I think this is the original idea with Astro Hustle. And so it's just like, you really never know what you're going to get. Now with The Witcher, this has been a little bit of a disappointment with me. I love the video game. The video game is just outstanding, especially the third one. And so I went into this expecting high expectations. They weren't really met. It's not a bad book, but it's definitely a book that is for hardcore fans. And I was glad to see that the original creator of The Witcher, he went and wrote these whole bunch of short stories of this character. He went for years saying that he was not seeing any money for the video games that are based on his characters. Come to find out, nah, he's been making bank off of that. But you want to know, us all feel like that the CD Projekt Red robbed him, but nah, he's been making some money. Now, on to, it's between this and Killmonger, for which is my favorite miniseries of 2019 so far. The Girl in the Bay is brilliant. The first issue, we get introduced to this girl. It's in the 1970s. She's a wild child. She's definitely a problem for her parents. She goes off to this party, does some drugs, gets involved with this one dude who takes her onto the bay and kills her. Throws her body over for the fishes to eat. Well, she survives, she thinks, and then she's back in, or she's now into today. She's gone back to her home to try to see if her parents are still there, and lo and behold, her older self is looking at her, and it's been one crazy ride. I don't want to ruin anything, but now that there's a monster involved or a spirit, it's just absolutely insane. Ronin Island issue number 2. In the first issue I was really looking forward to. I always love the samurai type of books. And with the first issue, I was a little bit disappointed. You have these islanders. They come from Korea, from Japan, all over Asia. And they come here just to live their life in peace. Well, the Shogun has come to their land, warning them of incoming invasion. And so these teens who are the Ronins of the island, and they come to protect it, are now going to fight these invaders. So it's an okay book, or the first issue was okay. Hopefully the second issue really picks things up. The Empty Man, issue number 6. Now, I love this book by Colin Bunn. The whole aspect of this virus that is happening to all these different people, where they become infected with the Empty Man, and they mutilate their body, they kill people, all in the name of the Empty Man. Where this one family, their mother has been infected with the Empty Man, and this cult has come to their house to say, we can help out your family member. FBI gets involved. It's been one crazy ride, and I'm excited to know that Comicology has the first volume of the Empty Man available on their unlimited plan. So I'm definitely going to read that and see how the original run or volume of the Empty Man was. So I think it came out like in 2012, and now it's come on to I think hopefully a ongoing, but I don't know. Now on to Dynamite. We have Red Sonja. This series, I am so happy I got on board. Because of Marvel new Conan book, I was like, I'm going to try that book out. And it kind of got me in the fix of some Swords and Sandals, but I knew that Conan was not the book that was going to itch that fix. So I decided to try out Red Sonja, knowing that it was coming back into its an whole new volume or a whole new numbering system. I thought it would be a great point to jump on in. And oh my god, was it a great time? Yes, it was. I love the fact that Red Sonja, she's going to this town to see her one of her relatives, or one of her only relatives, and this town gets notified that the Emperor's coming and he's going to take over your land. And so, them knowing this, they go to Red Sonja, knowing that she's some badass, and says, "You're going to be our queen, and you're going to help fight this incoming invasion." Of course, she takes it on because of her only family member being there. She tells him, "Get the hell out. I'm going to take care of this." And it's just been really well done. This book has really... The world of Red Sonja feels so alive. And you get the... There's a map in here. You can see the geography of everything. And it feels really well done. And then a book that I was not expecting to pick up, but because I am the only one who had it on the pull list and they're basically ordering for me, I had to take the next couple issues because, you know, they ordered it. And so I was like, okay, that's fine. Obey Me, issue number 1. Issue number 0, I just did not like it at all. The artwork was just trash. The writing, I was just like, no, this is not for me. It's based off an upcoming video game, but I could care less. And then another one from Dynamite, $6 Million Man. This first issue, I was okay with. You definitely get the corniness from the television show. And a lot of times the $6 Million Man is saying, "I am a $6 million man. I am a robot. I could do all these different type of things. Blah, 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 blah." And he says it over and over again. And then when the shit hits the fan, he does his stuff. And he doesn't do it very well. But because, and again, I'm the only one ordering it, they're like, "Hey, you know, you need a, you know, since you're the only one that was ordering, we're buying for you, you know, you got it." And so I was like, I understand, you know, especially when I buy all these independent books. So for now on, with these books that I am just testing out, that I know that I'm not going to stick on with, or I know there's a possibility, I'm going to pick them up on discount comic book services, so I don't have to go through this. Even though in discount comic book service I'm ordering 3 months in advance, I'll have to order at least 2 issues. So it's a give or take. Alright, Lodgers issue number 4 by IDW. I have to go back and reread issue number 1, 2, and 3 because this series series has not been out, or has not, a new issue hasn't come out for a couple months. So I definitely have to go back and reread. But we had this girl who, back in her teens, her family took in this guy. This guy manipulated her family, and her father went to prison. And she is now older, but she really wants to get revenge on this guy. And it's been a wild ride, but it's definitely a series. I need to reread the first 3, and then read issue number 4. And then finally, by IDW, Night Moves, issue number 4. This series has not come out since January, so I need to go back and reread it, but it's been a really cool little pulp type of story, where you have this guy, or this old guy, who's telling this kid all these crazy stories of him back in the day in Las Vegas. And I loved the first 3 issues, but I definitely need to go back and reread them so I can reorient myself in the whole entire story that's going on. So that was all the comics that I picked up this week. 2 weeks worth. Huge stack. And I'm hopefully tomorrow I'm going to have a video out where, or in the next couple of days, where I'm going to be talking about the new Hulk series, Indestructible Hulk. I think it's not Indestructible. Oh, what's that Hulk? Oh my god, let me go check. I can't believe I forgot. Anyways, I mean, oh shit, not the way I wanted to end it, but you know, it is what it is. So, I'm going to have a review of the new Hulk series that's out, the first volume, which I was able to read on Comixology Unlimited. So, that'll be fun. So, if you liked what you've seen here, rate, comment, subscribe. And let me know what you guys picked up and what you guys are reading that's really good. Or if there's anything on the DC Universe app, any comics that you're reading and that's really good, let me know, because I got that one. I got the Comicology Unlimited and the Marvel Unlimited. So a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to start reviewing on those platforms. So I'll see you guys next time on My Comic Life.